ready to tell the team what?
I actually just asked Scott, I said, how far to the pit? And he said 20 laps. And I said, it'll never go that far. And then it blew out. And I was getting ready to tell him we're coming next lap. As soon as we put that set on, it never felt right. That's the longest right front A-frame and the least camera we run all year long. It's not in the, you can actually see the wear indicators was just wore on the outside as well as the inside. So I don't think there's anything we did wrong. I think we just, we got the lucky tire.
84 markers out coming in, which was still doable, but this is going to be a huge hit, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, there's this pretty much does it for us, unfortunately. But you know, we'll keep fighting and get all we can. You never know what's going to happen. We won't quit racing. I can assure you of that. But this makes it, I don't want to say impossible, but pretty close to it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeff Burton.
Well, I am delighted to hear that it wasn't a situation with camber, that it just he ran over something or whatever, and the tire blew out.
Okay, a couple of things here. Mark Martin was the lucky dog, so he gets to come around back on the lead lap. He's 32nd. Denny Hamlin, who was running in the 14th spot, penalized for removing equipment from his pit stall. We were told it was a wedge wrench and perhaps even the fuel can. But anyway, he's at the tail end of the longest line.
He took everything.
Elliott Sadler pitting outside the box. That's a one-lap penalty, so Elliott Sadler is back in 34th. It's Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Casey Kane, and Jeff Gordon, the top five. Then it's Martin Truex Jr., Riggs, Boyer, Edwards, Kevin Harvick. Kyle Busch runs in 13th. Matt Kenseth, 22nd. Denny Hamlin, 32nd. Mark Martin, 33rd. Jeff Burton currently scored 43rd, back in the garage. Our 10 drivers in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Update from Marty.
Bill, how about the stop for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his guys? 11.9, gained 2 spots on pit road. Jr. still not feeling well. Asked the crew under caution to see if they could maybe get him some medication or something. He says his biggest problem, he's got a whole bunch of heartburn. He said, I've drank so much Gatorade all weekend long trying to keep myself hydrated that it's now giving me heartburn, and I'm dealing with that in the race car, plus being sore from having the flu all week.
But that pit stop will make him feel a little bit better.
That pit stop makes everybody feel better on the 18, Bill.
And if he can get around Tony Stewart, 5 bonus points for leading a lap will make him feel even a little bit better. Green flag.
Man, look at Tony Stewart in that 20 car just drive away from him.
Junior and Johnson trying to clear the lap traffic.
Ooh, Truex goes to the bottom. Saw Ward Burton in the 4 car slid up to the high side, which is where all the guys on the lead lap were. So Truex decided, I need to get to the bottom to get around him.
BP, you want to say something about Martin Truex Jr. and how his day's going?
No, I don't want to say anything. Last week I bragged on him and told how well he was doing and how well he had been running for the last couple of months. And 2 laps later, he's coming down pit road with a right front wheel bearing. Bad.
Did you see those guys in the garage this morning?
I saw Bono and I just walked up and he looked at me and smiled. That's all he could do.
Truex in the 6th spot. There's Casey Kane and Jeff Gordon. That's for 4th. Jeff trying the inside of the 9 car. Tries to get down and hug that line.
That works on a lot of guys, but that's tough on Casey Kane when he's out there, because he usually hangs pretty tough. Marty.
Wally, Casey has an interesting dilemma. You know, a lot of times when drivers are out here and their shoes get wet, you need to dry them thoroughly. Well, Casey didn't do that. And so his shoe is actually sticking to the throttle. So when he comes to pit road, that makes things kind of hard. They thought about handing him a can of either brake cleaner or silicone. They decided not to do that because they thought that might make it too slick. So Casey's got that issue with his shoe sticking to the throttle. Other than that, the car's running great, Matt.
Marty, the biggest issue for Jeff Gordon, just cannot seem to get in the power when he wants to on exit. It's really bad down in turns 1 and 2. The traffic wasn't an issue earlier, but it sure seems like it now, he says. AB?
Just keep an eye on Matt Kenseth here for a second. He had a little problem on his pit stop, and now he says he thinks he has a flat right rear tire. So we'll keep an eye on the 17.
Problem is, he's up on the high side right now. He's not able to slow down and get into pit lane that lap.
Trying to look with the binoculars. Bob was talking to you about Robbie. See if it's the left rear, just to make sure it's not a left rear. It's one of the rears. Left rear. It don't look like. Not a left rear.
He's still trying to feel it out, make sure that's what he thinks it is. Still going pretty fast too, feeling it out.
Doesn't want to lose all those positions.
See the car wiggling right there? Definitely not comfortable.
It's so hard to see that right rear tire.
Well, he thought it was the left rear, and Robbie Reiser said it's not the left rear. What do you do? Try and tiptoe at 175 miles an hour?
Exactly. You kind of you go to 3/4 and you try to feel it out to make sure that you're convinced yourself that there's something wrong with that car. The last thing a guy wants to do is come in and be wrong. Right. Because you basically handed the race away. So right now he's still flying, but he backed off enough to try to get a good feel for it. If he feels like, well, maybe it's not a tire going down, he'll get confidence back in the car and start picking it up again. But at this point in time, he's still trying to feel it out. Whoa.
We're going to know pretty soon if one of those tires is going flat.
Kenseth has dropped to 29th in the running order. It's back there with Hamlin, Stremme, and Mark Martin. Carl Edwards and Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch getting down on the bottom of Carl Edwards, but gets a good bite from the middle off.
Watching Carl today, Dave?
Yeah, and he lost some spots on pit road, had a little trouble getting out of his pit box. David Gilliland pitted late and right in front of him, so they spoke to the 38 team and think they might have that worked out for the future, but Carl trying to make up some ground again in the 99.
Matt Kenseth has lost another spot, falling back to 30th. There's the race leader. Tony Stewart leads by 2 seconds over Dale Earnhardt Jr. You're watching the Dickies 500 live on NBC.